Everybody, welcome to Safari Live. My name's Hayden Turner and my buddy Peter Pretorius is somewhere around here at the moment. We'll catch up with him just now. We're on the Djuma and Arathusa game reserves in the beautiful Sabi Sands here in South Africa, broadcasting this to you live. Everything you see, we are seeing right here, right now. So that's the magical thing about Safari Live. And it's about 32 degrees, I think, Celsius, about 88 Fahrenheit at the moment, which isn't as hot as it has been the last few days, but it's really humid today, really humid. We feel like there's moisture in the air again, but we don't think it's going to hit us today, fingers crossed, but it is on its way. We had a really interesting morning this morning. Pete saw those lines, fantastic sighting of those lines, particularly the roar and that vocalization, beautiful stuff. And we caught up with that lovely elephant, that breeding herd over on Arathusa. I'm going to head back over to Arathusa and do a little bit more investigating over there, because I'm learning the roads over there. Really looking forward to that. But at the same time, we're going to stop down at our little spots that we do to check for our injured hippo. And that story is going for quite a long time. I hope he's okay. We haven't seen him for a few days, but we'll definitely keep you informed, and also anything else we see along the way. It was a very busy afternoon. We got lots of things done, lots of maintenance on the vehicle and things like that, and always something to do here. And got to talk to Scott a little bit more as well. He's a sensational guy. He's going to be absolutely fantastic, and he's also here to give us a little bit of a break. He'll be in the vehicle tomorrow morning. I get to sleep in, which is the first time in about 3 weeks, which is great. And he's going to be with you tomorrow morning, so I know you're going to really enjoy his company. Super guy, super experienced, and he's really going to connect with this area. Same thing with Scott was with me. I'd never been here before, you know, been in Africa for a long time, worked throughout Africa, lots of different countries, but wasn't very familiar with Djuma or Arathusa. So he's getting to know the roads as well, and I explained to him before, it's like, once you got it, you feel really comfortable here, but it's just getting to know the area. He's a super guy, and I really think you're going to enjoy his company. And then Mark's on his way as well, which another amazing man, huge amount of knowledge in that head, and knows the area very well. So it's a little bit like Pete and I in a way, that Scott and Mark's going to be able to share his knowledge about the cats and the roads as well. So it's a really fantastic team. Not only do we have a great team of guides, but we also have VM on camera today with me, and Brian on camera with Pete, and we've got Scott in the control room watching. We've got Will, Alex, Jason and Peter and another Alex. There's a big team with us today in the control room, and they'll be feeding us questions and doing anything else that we need to, or letting us know anything we need to know. Which brings me to the point, if you've got any questions, please send us an email on questions@WildEarthTV, or you can tweet us at #SafariLive. Right, I think with all the formalities out of the way, we should probably get on our merry way. We're going to just creep around. This is Quarantine, the area we normally start on, and we're going to drop down Philemon's Dip, and we're going to check out Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, and then make our way into Arathusa. Anything we see on the way will be great, and let's see if we can find some things with whiskers today. Right, Zanelli, my wonderful vehicle. Let's go. So as we always sort of talk about, folks, in the afternoons when it's a little bit hot, the cats or a lot of the predators take shelter from this incredible humidity and heat. They don't cope with that very well, and they probably are under shade at the moment. And you know my old saying, there's always exceptions to the rule, which there are, but we'll maximise our time probably in the later part of the day when it cools down a little bit. There's a little bit of cloud cover coming over at the moment, which will give us a little bit of respite from this heat, but at the same time they will still be struggling with the humidity. Nothing on that little impala kill in the tree. It's still there. We'll come back and check that out a little bit later as well. There's lots of sort of ongoing stories, lots of threads. Little impala kill in the tree. It's still there. We'll come back and check that out a little bit later as well. There's lots of sort of ongoing stories, lots of threads going through the Safari Live at the moment, which is fantastic, and it's good to build stories around these animal characters. All the leopards have got their profile pages, which is really, really exciting, and and the line pride's getting to know them as well. But we've got some individuals that have popped up that I'm really starting to take a shine to, and one particular individual is that elephant with the damaged trunk, the sort of half trunk elephant. He's a really, really beautiful animal, and hopefully we might bump into him again today, but maybe just spend a bit more time with him and get him a bit more comfortable with the vehicles, because he really has had a bit of trauma in his life somewhere there, and he's a very different individual compared to the elephants we were with this morning on Arathusa that we could basically drive right up to and just was completely relaxed with us. So he's had a little bit of trauma in his history, and he's a little bit fearful. Doesn't come as close, but the more time we spend with him, the more time we build his confidence and know that we are not a threat, particularly here on these beautiful game reserves in Sabi Sands. And then we've got our hippo, which is another story in itself. I really don't know where he goes during the day, but we are going to investigate constantly on that. See what happens there. Another glorious afternoon here in Africa. It's got a beautiful smell in the air of sort of that last rain and freshness. It's humid, but it's still really pleasant. A lot of the animals are taking cover as I was driving back to camp this afternoon. Every little bit of shade in each tree on the more open areas, the sort of open grassland areas on the other side of the reserve. Little pockets of shade, a little pocket of impala, little pocket of shade, little pocket of zebra. A couple of little warthogs running off up here. Youngsters that aren't quite as confident with the vehicle as the adults are. And they normally stand for about 2 or 3 seconds and then bolt with their little tails up in the air to see where each other are in the longer grass. It's just a behaviour that happens all the time. Even the little piglets we saw the other day, which are only about this big, they all do it as well, so they can follow each other. But there'll definitely be some more warthog piglets hitting the ground over the coming weeks. Now the lions that Pete went and saw, that beautiful male and female that you caught up with earlier, they've gone on to another reserve, we think. Here's a lovely elephant up here. I thought it was our half-trunk friend, but it's not. But we'll go and check him out. We were going to take a turn off just here to the left, but we'll go and check out this guy, see what he thinks of us. See what he thinks of us. Just gave us a little bit of a warning there, just to stay where we are. It's okay. And those signals you pick up from elephants very, very quickly. They give you those warning signals. They're not really interested in you coming any closer, so that's what we do. We listen to it, we watch it, we observe it, and we respect it. So he's a little, he's on his own mission. We'll just let him be. And you gauge animals' behaviour like that, you learn about that as time goes on. And we just carry on our journey. A couple more through here. When we do see an elephant that's in must, is sexually active, we'll stop and show you the temporal glands and that secretion This is that broken tusk one we've seen before. It's a little bit tricky to see through there, but he's got a broken right tusk. That incisor is either snapped off. I think we've mentioned it before. It's either snapped off from a battle, or a jousting session, or a dominant sort of behaviour, or he might have even broken it off trying to push over a tree. So you just don't know. But at the same time, he's got his left one, which he'll use as a tool, and that one he might modify his behaviour and find that that's a really good tool as well. He's a little bit off in the vegetation there, so a bit tricky to see, but he is secreting a little bit of, it's a bit tricky to see. I might get a better shot for you just here. A little bit of secretion from that. No, I can't get a shot for you, VM, really. Let me just back up a little bit. We might get a little break through this vegetation if we go back this way and take a look at him from no, all that vegetation is just scuppering our shot. He looks like he's moving this way a little bit, so we might just give it a second, get you into this position here, VM, and you might be able to show everyone on the vehicle what we're talking about. It's slightly, can't really see it on this side. So there's a little temporal gland about 6 inches back from his eye, on the same plane as his eye, or the same level as his eye. It's just secreting a little bit there, so he's not hugely active, but that is a great indicator for us when a bull has that secretion. Sometimes you see it's running down the side of their head to the point that you see it drip off the side of their jaw. Drip off the side of their jaw. I love them. They're so nice, these impala. Lots of babies on the ground at the moment. Just wait and see if those impala come down, because it's quite beautiful to watch a larger herd of impala come down and drink. It's a very nervous time for animals to come down to a water point. Predators will utilise that, as we saw with Djuma the other day, hiding in that hole. He was probably just relaxing there, chilling out, but I'm wondering if we should just sit around the other side. Now our hippo friend isn't here again, so we will come back later tonight and have a look at that. I'm just going to park ourselves up on the side, on the damn wall this time, so we've got a shot back in there, because me parking quite close to that might inhibit the impala's availability of water. Not sure if they're coming down or they're just walking through. Excuse me. No, I don't think they are coming down. They're actually moving straight through. So our hippo was in here, and he hasn't been here for 24 hours, a little bit more. Well, we haven't seen him here, not to say that he hasn't been here. It does look quite idyllic through there, doesn't it? Beautiful green flush of grass coming, sun shining beautifully down on this water point. And we've seen leopard here, we've seen this hippo here, we've seen
Lots of zebra and wildebeest come down. It's a beautiful thing to see animals drink. It's very relaxing, and but as I said, just going back to the point I was making before, a nervous time for any animal to come to a water point for many different reasons. They're vulnerable, they're out in the open, they've got their heads down, they'll drink for a short time, and they'll be really on their toes when it comes to predators potentially laying low and using it as a time to hunt. There's lots of little terrapins in this, little turtles in this this pond. They pop their heads up. They're quite voracious terrapins. They will definitely take anything they possibly can that comes to the water's edge. They'll feed on aquatic invertebrates, but also little vertebrates in the water, and even small birds. If they come up to the edge of the water, they will take. There's been lots and lots of documentation of them taking doves that are drinking from the water's edge. It is really, really hot here, folks. This sun is beating down. It feels like it's more than 32 degrees to me. A little bit of reflection off the water as well. So what we might do is carry on to our next dam. So there's impala passed through. They're still passing through up there. I thought they were coming down to drink, but they had another plan, and we have another plan as well. But I'm really, really interested to know what's happened to this hippo. We'll cross the peak shortly and see what he's up to. I think he's going to go up and check out where those lions were, where he left them this morning, but we do have a feeling that they have gone on to another reserve that we don't drive on. So he will forage around that area and look for anything else he can. Buffelshoek Dam, that area is a fantastic area. It's where we saw those wild dog hunting. We've seen Mvula, the leopard up that way, beautiful elephant interaction in that dam, loads and loads of things. It's a great spot. And on a day like today, there'll definitely be some action around there at some point. Lovely tortoise here. Have a look at him, folks. I'll just reverse back. He's feeding, so let's let him carry on feeding. Hopefully he's not going to... Oh no, I think he's going to move away. Beautiful. Yeah, they're definitely kicking around. You've got to be so careful on the roads, folks, that you don't come around a corner and there's a beautiful creature on the road. The other night there were some bullfrogs out in force on the road, and we were driving slowly and driving around them. They just sit there catching termites, enjoying a fantastic feast from those termites with that big emergence that we had the other night. Last night it was. I think I actually consumed a fair few as well, as did VM and Pete and Brian. We had tissue paper stuck in our ears at one point, I had the earpiece in one and tissue paper, and they were beating down on us as we were driving. And the car was full of termites. Always looking down in these little drainage lines as well. They're really interesting little places. You never know, you just never know. You may see a leopard walking through there, and the leopards use those drainage lines beautifully to sort of skirt around prey if they've seen something and drop down and then emerge from the drainage line closer to their prey. A little bit warm for activity for leopard, as we said before, but I always like to have an element of positivity every time you come out, that you just don't know. Animals can change their behaviour and their routine for many, many different reasons, and I've seen it all over Africa. Leopards hunting in the middle of the day in blaring heat, but generally speaking, most of the predators are a little bit down flat, as we like to say, flat cats. And then again, cheetah are an exception to that rule. I've seen cheetah hunting at all different times of the day, particularly because they are completely diurnal. They only operate during the day, and they hole up in a safe spot during the night. And I have seen them hunting right on the sort of cusp of twilight and dusk. So lots of exceptions to the rules always. Now, I'm going to drop down into a little dip here that sometimes we lose signal. If we do, just stick with us. I'll be right back out of it the other side. Recently it's been fine, but occasionally it occurs when there's so many contributing factors to that. The heat, the rain, just depends. So hopefully we're okay. Some impalas down here with their youngsters. Little four females and four females and four babies. Let me just move up a little bit further. So all those females have dropped their young. I'll just go up. There's a little one hiding behind that stump there with his mum. So all these females have dropped their lambs and hanging out in a little group. There's a few up a bit further up, some rams, males. These little youngsters are really getting their strength and building their muscle now, and running faster and faster as every day goes on. Lovely, lovely stuff. Did you see that? That was actually really interesting. Sorry folks, I just realised what was going on there. You might have heard a little bit of vocalisation then. And a little grunting, like no, that sounded a bit more like a wildebeest, but anyway, animal impressions are not my thing. A youngster walked up to the wrong mum, and that's what she was making that vocalisation for and pushing it away. And then they got mixed up. I suppose, yeah, they pretty much look alike, don't they? But they, look at that beautiful feeding there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's lovely. So she had the wrong lamb with her, and she walked over to find her own. Really beautiful. Okay. Okay. A bit quiet at Twin Dams as well. Why is it called Twin Dams? Because there used to be another dam the other side, but it dried up and is not there anymore, but we still refer to it as Twin Dams, this location. Repeat control. Copy. So we're just driving along the boundary of Djuma. There's a lovely grey duiker running across the road. That's pretty much what we see of duiker. Let's just have a little look, see if he's stopped to have a look at us, which sometimes they do. Rarely. He was in full... Oh, there he is, there he is. He might stop for 1 second. Just have a little look through there, Vim. Can you see him? Is he still there? No, he's run off. They're very, very nervous animals. They, I've said it many times before, duiker in Afrikaans means diver. That's what they do. They dive through the vegetation. And we don't see them very often. We see them scooting past. If ever I get one standing there for a few seconds, we'll stop and have a look at it. There's a really interesting thing about duiker. They let out this incredible vocalization when they're injured, which for some, I mean, scientists and researchers have come up with lots of different theories, and it's a really interesting sort of phenomena that happens with duiker. They call up other duikers with this alarm call or this distress call, and other duikers will come to their aid. It's quite incredible to hear and see, and I've seen it actually happen real time. So it's a really interesting phenomena that happens with duiker. few corrugations on this road, folks, so please bear with us. I apologise for the bumps, but we are in Africa, we are in the bush. It's not a theme park or anything like that, it's the real deal, and this is actually a beautiful road. Really good condition for the bush. They can get to the point where they're so bone jarring that you feel like your vehicle's going to fall apart, and you actually feel like you're going to fall apart at points. But this is really nice. Just to put it in context with what other roads can be like. So we're going to head into Arathusa and see what's there. There was a lot of elephant there this morning, and it's always great to be in the presence of those magnificent creatures. More than happy just to sit with them for a while and see what else we can see. I've got the game channel loud and clear in my ear. We can see what we hear. Some of the guides will share any sightings with us that they find. We do think the lions were on yesterday, but they've moved off a little bit. I like to do my little sweep around the airstrip. It's always a good thing. It only takes about 10 minutes, and it allows us just to maximise our chances. If there is a cheetah or cheetahs in the area, it could be a good thing. So a zebra just going off here. I think I might have given you the wrong temperature before. I think I said 32. It was actually 35 degrees. I know I stop at them all the time, but when you get really close to them, it's quite beautiful to see them up close. Really beautiful. Just under the shade of this tree, so elegant. Just got a question from, I'm sorry folks, I was just listening to that because I had two radio channels working at the same time in my ear, which is a bit tricky at times. Chris Rogue on Twitter. Hi Chris, and welcome aboard. Thanks very much for joining us. Chris just asked a question, do we get different species of impala on the reserves? Well, they're not different species. There is a black-faced impala. I haven't seen one here. I have seen them in South Africa, that's for sure, but in Namibia, they are a black-faced impala. They've got a black, lovely black sort of muzzle down the front, and then there's a different species up in East Africa. But here we've generally just got this impala to look at on every day. We stop at them a lot just because I really need to support the impala. I believe that the impala gets overlooked a little bit in game drives. You have a tendency, as I always use that word, cursory glance, because you do see them so much, but when you can get up so close to them like we do here, it's really nice when we've got this beautiful camera to show you the pictures on. HD, really lovely up close shots of the detail of these magnificent animals. It's worth stopping for, even if it's just a short time every day. So we're just going down the border, the reserve edge of Arathusa. We're going to go in there, down to the airstrip, and then have a little bit of a nosy around there. We'll stick our nose into some little roads up around where we saw the elephant as well. You never know. I've had questions before, and I think it's nice just to clarify a little bit about the difference of horns and antlers. It's not a question we just got on Twitter or anything, but I think it's a good thing to bring up, because if you live in a country that doesn't have antelope, in the United States or in North America, you've got pronghorn, which are an antelope. I think it's your only antelope, but you know, deer and antlers and horns. Deers have antlers and antelope have horns. They both grow as time goes on. They're not born with them. They've got these tiny little stumps where the horn and the antler is going to grow out of. I'm coming back to you. Hello, mate.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, all right. You good, mate?
Sure.
Yeah. Anything around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left with a kill.
Where?
You find it now. We're gonna go look.
Whereabouts?
Yeah. Go from my side. Ah, it's in the front. You can traverse it on my.
Have a good one, guys. So the antlers and the horns situation is really all about two very different groups of hoofed animals. So deer grow their antlers as they get older, and every year they get another tine on their antler, and they will shed those antlers every year, and they grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Elk, reindeer, red deer, fallow deer, barking deer, sambar deer, loads of different deer, moose, all in that family. And then you've got antelope, which grow their horns and keep their horns. So it's a very big difference, and they'll grow those horns. Some get very long, particularly in kudu. I think we talked about it yesterday, 188 centimeters, which is well over 6 foot of horns sticking out of their heads, which is quite mind-blowing. Down to little tiny horns about this big on Steenbok. So when I just talked to the guides there, they were going to see a leopard on another reserve, a reserve that we don't go on for Safari Live, and that's why I just said to them what you're up to, etc. So that's fine. We're going to look at loads of things here. Try and keep our ear to the ground as well. Really interested to know what's going on with that impala kill up the tree. There's loads of people thinking that it could be Karula. It was definitely her area, her stomping ground. She really liked that area. It could be one offspring as well. Quarantine. maybe. Temperature's just starting to drop a little bit, not much. Just feel a little bit of recovery in the shadows, particularly down in that dip we were just in there. It was a bit cooler. Just looking around, we've got some kudu way off in the distance, which we might see, but we've got some impala lying down next to the airstrip. Just having a scan. I always like to use binoculars on this long sighting sort of exercise, because it allows you to make a plan if you do see a predator, particularly cheetah. You don't drive on top of them and scare them off into the vegetation. So nice to just have a little look there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down the other side so we don't disturb those impala resting, because they're resting right on the edge of the road, and it's an honourable thing doing, as I just said. The impala were so fantastic. They're sitting right next to the road there, so let's go this way, and we can achieve exactly the same thing. So as I've mentioned many times before, it's an operational airstrip. It's what we call a bush airstrip, so there's only certain types of aircraft that can land on it. You can't be bringing in, you know, big jet engines and things like that. It's normally aircraft that operate in the area through the bush landing sort of sites, and the airstrip will be maintained by the reserve to the standards for the pilots to be able to land safely. That all being said, as long as the runway is up to state and in good order, you can't guarantee what's on the airstrip. Now, I have been in places where I've landed on bush airstrips in Uganda, Tanzania, Namibia, Botswana, you name it, and we've landed in all different aircraft, and you've come in to land, and because the wind's blowing the wrong direction and blowing the sound away from the animals, you might have a whole sort of herd of impala, or I've even had in Uganda a hippopotamus walking across the airstrip unbeknown that we were landing, and it's a little unnerving, I must say, to have that occur, and you have to buzz the airstrip and pull out, and the animal sort of sees you eventually and moves off. Occasionally as well, they become so complacent they just don't even bother about the planes, they stay there, where you have to get a staff member of the reserve or the lodge or something to drive up the airstrip and shoo the animals off.
HD?
Yeah.
Jackal.
Oh, nice spotting, mate. Well done. My eyes in the sky. Well done, mate. VM has just spotted a jackal, and it's probably the pair that we saw here this morning. Nice one. He's walking along the road here. I'm just going to turn off. He's a long way off there, folks, but I think if I drive towards him, he's more than likely going to walk off. He's coming along the road. He might be on the hunt, actually. He's a little side striped jackal. There he is. You can see him now, just poking his head up there. He might be looking for, I can see these geese across from him. There's some Egyptian geese across from him. And we talked a little bit about jackal this morning, but I think they're a sensational animal. They're really cool. They're busy, they're really adaptive. They forage for all different types of food, as we talked about this morning, and will make a meal out of nearly anything. Anything from termites to leftovers from a lion kill or a leopard kill or a hyena or wild dog. He's beautiful. We might see if we can get a little bit closer to him. He knows we're here, that's for sure. But let's just drive up a little bit. He might come out to the open a little bit more. Here he goes. I'm just going to creep up. I'll watch his behaviour here as well. Really important we watch his behaviour and we don't change his behaviour. We'll just stop here because I want to see what he's up to. He's had a little bit of a look around there. I think he was in that long grass there. There was a couple of... you'd have to be pretty quick to catch those geese, but he's looking across at them all the time. Fantastic little animal. And as I also mentioned before this morning, rather unstudied, I have to say. There's not as much information about these jackal as there are on their two cousins, the golden jackal and the blackback jackal. He's out there just having a bit of a look around to see what he can come across. He had his eyes on that crowned plover as well, but as soon as those birds see him and know he's around there, there's no chance. He's a beautiful animal, isn't he? Let's see if we can just go creep a little bit closer, because I'd like you to see a little bit of the detail on this animal. He's got a little bit more of a stub snout than his other cousins. He's laid down there. Yeah, their snout is a little bit, their muzzle's a little bit shorter. Definitely looking around for using that fantastic canine sense of smell. That really distinctive white tip on the tail they have as well, and that side stripe, which is where they get their name, obviously. Oh, he just decided to... So quite well camouflaged as well, and fantastic work of him for seeing that. My eyes in the sky yet again. He's just watching us. So I might just move up a bit closer. He may potentially just get up and walk across the other side of the airstrip, but we do have to get on. He may allow us, if he does lay there for a bit longer, I'll see how close I can get, but on this road, on the side of this road, he will probably, I'd imagine, get up and walk to the other side. Wow, he's making rather generous Being rather generous in his allowance for us to get close to him. Just dropped down so close to the ground you can hardly see him, which is one of his fantastic little attributes that he has of camouflage and lying down low in the grass there, keeping his eyes open for any opportunity that arises. And across from us is his partner, just walking up to the right of him. You can just see over here, I just spotted, just sitting down there is his partner. Normally seen in pairs, normally stay in pairs, but can be seen in up to groups of 6 where there's plentiful food supply. So they do resemble, you know, canine in the dog family in other countries. You know, you'll get jackals in the United States, of course, and you'll get different types of fox and wolf in different parts of the world. They're all in that family, but beautiful creature. We'll just sit with these guys for a little bit longer because they are quite active. Just watch what they get to here. Okay, we're going to get, here's a beautiful black-bellied bustard flying through shot there. We're just going to move on a little bit. We might get a bit closer to them. They're on the move. Super little animal, really nice. That's a nice shot next to that termite mound there. They're going off into the bush now. Yeah, they've moved on. That was nice, really nice. So it's not just all about the big cats, there's lots of other beautiful little alternative to the predators that we always come out looking for, and I think it's just a great reminder to us that there's other things out there than lion, leopard, cheetah. There's serval, caracal, jackal, hyena, wild dog, and really fantastic sort of creatures that they're particularly the serval and the caracal, very elusive, very, very difficult to see. And in my time of coming to Africa, when I started first coming to Africa in 1992, I think I could probably say I've seen caracal 5 times, and serval probably a few more, but that's about it. And they're quite elusive, beautiful at the same time. That's another fantastic little predator that we've seen. Never ever think of them just as a scavenger, because they're much more than that. Great little voracious hunters. Well, that's a pretty good scan of the airstrip, and I think definitely worth popping down for. You never know what you can find, and to see side-striped jackal is a brilliant little encounter. We're going to head now along here and back into Arathusa proper. Definitely have a nice look around up where we saw those ellies. I'm listening to the radio constantly for any lion or leopard sightings, and definitely chase those up if we get them. Just checking my map here. Go to the edge of this road and then peel off. So this area, all here, is just a road. This area has been cleared basically for good vision for the aircraft flying. So anything here that you see that this looks like, you might wonder why it's so clear, and then the vegetation starts. It's definitely for the safety of any aircraft landing. But then again, the animals benefit from it hugely. Anything along this area here is all being pulled back. Well, you can see from that windsock right there, which is there for the aircraft to know how windy it is. That's about the amount of breeze that we have at the moment. It's a little on the warm side, folks. Lovely wildebeest here. Beautiful light through there. Territorial bull. Not quite in the season yet for mating, but he would be waiting there for females to come through eventually. Nice big bull. We're going to peel off down this road here. Wasn't it fantastic to see those wildebeest born the other day? I still think about that as I drive along. Such a special moment, such an incredible thing to witness, and wonderful to have everyone on board the vehicle with us. I know Pete was having a little technical difficulty with his vehicle, and I've just got word that he is going to be out very, very shortly. We're just changing something on that vehicle, so just to give you an update, that's where Pete is. I'm not crossing to him for any other reason other than he's just doing, he and the team are doing a little bit of work on his vehicle, and we always want to make sure when we get out the vehicles are in tip-top condition, and we didn't find out this little technical hitch until we were right on the location we started at. We had to quickly go back to the workshop, so bear with us on that. Peter Pretorius will be with us. He's a great guy. He's a really great guy to be around, Pete. We enjoy each other's company a lot. We talk loads about, you know, the environment and animals, and it's just a lovely lovely buddy to have on board. And working with him over the past few weeks, we've built a really great friendship, and I think it's going to be one that lasts a long time. And it's not just Pete, you know, the rest of the team are super. You meet great people on these projects, and you know, it's a sort of thing like when you go to you get a job, you get put into a big sort of pile of people together, and you might not normally hang out with those sort of people for whatever reason, but you know what? These things prosper from just hanging out with people in a really beautiful situation, and you learn loads from other people, you pick up great information, and you build really great friendships. It's great stuff. So I don't think that the team in the control room are feeling left out now after I've said that. Okay, so I'm going to go left here. We've been sticking around this area on the right. I normally go down that way. I'm going to explore a couple of new roads this afternoon. Always great, always an adventure. You never know what's around that next corner. That is exactly what it's about. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go the other way. You know I do this often. I'm going to go the other way because I've been down this road this morning, but that doesn't mean anything really. Those animals move and traverse all of the reserve all over the place. But sometimes it's nice just to have a little wander. When I first started working in the zoo, I never in my wildest dreams, yeah, actually that's not true. In my wildest dreams I dreamt of doing this. In my wildest dreams, but sometimes in your wildest dreams, you've got to have them, they're really important to have because everyone's got to have dreams. It's been a pretty incredible journey. We just got an email from Christine. Hi Christine, welcome aboard. From Christine in Raleigh, North Carolina. Great to have you with us. Your question was, is there much difference between the hunting strategy of jackal and wild dog? Well, absolutely, hugely different, and a really great question. Jackals are definitely a very adaptive canine. They, as we talked about before, the foods that they can eat, they can survive. It's a bit like, well, when I say it's a bit like, it's not like a leopard, but leopard are a great example of probably the most adaptive cat in the world, or big cat, eating anything from small crickets to the bigger mammals. But jackals will have a very, very broad range in their diet. It depends on food availability. I've been in Namibia where I've seen jackals attacking a seal pup. Now that's a pretty incredible behaviour to watch, but wild dog are very, very different. They're strategy hunters, depending again on a lot of different factors. How big is the pack, for example? Our pack that we saw the other day was 4 adults and 6 youngsters. There was cases where there was 2 animals hunting, which we saw on Buffelshoek Dam with that impala in the water. We saw an individual hunting by itself with that impala, where VM and I just happened to stumble upon it and pick the right moves that day, and we were just really lucky there. But that was a single animal hunting. But when you've got a big pack of wild dog hunting, it's quite a sight to behold. There's a strategy behind it, and they're relentless. They work together as a team. It's a big team. There's a lot of sort of launching themselves in and retreat, launching themselves in and retreat. It's relentless. Jackal would probably be the same on a smaller type of thing, but they're much more opportunistic. Whereas you can get that feel that wild dog are actually on the hunt. What we just saw with the jackal, they were foraging, they were looking for opportunities. Wild dog will go out with this mission, and you can see the way that they're walking through the bush and the way that they're actually trotting through the bush. And they're brilliant. They're just brilliant. They're probably the most, I think, statistically it's roughly around 80 to 85% of wild dog attempts on hunting are successful. So very, very different creatures, but fantastic question, Christine, thank you. And it's great to talk about all the different predators. And you bring hyena into that as well. A lot of people give hyena this sort of reputation that it's just this scavenger. They are absolutely superb hunters as well. So, and the world of nature and the environment and habitats are all differ with so many different, factors, and that is food availability, water, is there a drought, is there loads of different things, numbers of the pack, numbers of the pride. They will adapt their behaviour and change that to the benefit of their future. So you can read the books and you can look at the stats, but there's always exceptions to the rule, and I love that. I love that. Yeah, it's great stuff. Thank you for the question, brilliant. Just have a look at this down to my right. Doesn't that look delightful? Now, if you're an animal that likes to wallow, That is just full of thick, beautiful mud, which hasn't got a mark on it at the moment, but I'm sure when buffalo or elephant come past there, they definitely love to have a big slide around in that stuff. And the reason they do that is to, even though these animals look tough and rugged, they're actually got quite delicate skin, and they're not eating flies and ticking insects. They give them a bit of a aggravation in their day, so they'll roll around in it and wallow in that mud. And it's cooling as well, soothing, I'd imagine. But these wallows, this one's been used down here. They're filled after the rains as well, downpours that we've had. I'm just listening to the game line on a here. We can hear people talking about that. Don't trust that. Okay guys, I'm going to have to turn back here because I think the signal is not fantastic. So I was about to turn around. Okay, sorry about the focus. To an area that the signal in, and myself by the side of the road. I'm on a quest for that. You see them so much and so often, and we just can't get one that's a perfect, a nice shot for you. That call is there, really beautiful, distinct call of the woodland kingfisher. Drive, Ellie, beautiful names. It was Trias stumpus. Bit bumpy through here, folks. Sorry about that. Just lost all my equipment here. My binoculars. Everything fell down. Okay. So, lots of clouds on the horizon, but I don't think we're going to cop any of that today. Just always keeping an eye on the sky. As we're a little bit away from our control centre now, we're far enough away that if I couldn't run to shelter, it would be a little bit of a tricky one. We do have another backstop here on Arathusa. Still really muggy and sticky, and that's why we're just having this sort of quiet spell. But we could come across ellies at any time here, elephants. Oh, hey, look at that! Seriously, I promise you, I didn't. That wasn't scripted. I'm seriously honest with you. There you go. Let's just see if there's a little road up there. Lovely little breeding herd, lovely little youngster there. I want to try and get closer for you folks. So let's just try and do that. I can't go up this road. They look like they're walking up that direction. Just have a look there, there's a couple of youngsters and a lovely female coming up behind there. Probably the mother of that one. Potentially the matriarch, but she's normally at the front. Not always. So there's a little left-hand turn up here. We're on Zebra Drive at the moment. I reckon if we pull in to that little left-hander, they're going to walk right onto us. Would you like that? I'd like that. That was really, I promise you, you know, hand on heart, as I said that, I looked up there and there was elephant. I can hear so many people going, come on. Repeat please mate, I can't hear you mate. we'll just carry on a little bit and see if we can get them vision here. We're going to head back over towards Djuma anyway, and this is the way we can go. It's probably the most direct route back to Djuma, but I'm just looking at the map. I just want to try and intercept these guys. Elephants walk at approximately 6 kilometers per hour. You'll have to do the math there for me on miles per hour. And humans walk at about roughly 4.5 kilometers an hour. So when I've been on foot many a time following elephants or trying to catch up to elephants, you've really got to get a clip on. You've got to really walk at a fast pace to follow elephants. They might look like they're ambling through the bush at a slow pace, but on foot you've really got to get a clip on. Walk, 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 get up to 6 kilometers an hour or 7 to catch up with them. So you can really be motoring through the bush to try and find elephant if you're on their tracks. Just keeping my eyes out for them. It's very, very thick here through here, folks. I'm not going to drive through it. They've gone up a little bit further, but we'll come across more. Confirm Becky or Betty? Copy. Folks, I just want to double check on who. We just got a tweet from Betty, and my radio's really breaking up at the moment, so here's some more Ellies, guys. Betty, I'm definitely going to come back to you, but let's have a look at these guys. This is not the same individual. This is a bull. And he may be coming down to this beautiful mud wallow, or he might be walking past it, I don't know. But he's been sliding around in that beautiful mud we talked about a second ago. So covered his whole body with that. He's had a fine time. Now, just Control, can you just confirm the last question for me again? I do apologise, you're breaking up. Thank you. Look at this, isn't this fantastic? Having a bit of a scratch there. Such absolutely superb creatures. Isn't that brilliant? We just got a great question from Betty in Ontario. I do apologise, Betty, the radio was breaking up a little bit with your question, so I had to just get a reconfirmation. I wanted to make sure I got your name right. Welcome aboard, Betty, and thank you very, very much for your question. Betty wants to know whether elephants ever get attacked by predators. Well, there's lots of different stories and documentation of elephants, young calves being taken by big super prides of lions, or even small prides of lions if an elephant is off by itself or if we might see something lovely happen here, folks. I'm just hoping that he's going to go into this mud, but I'm not sure if he's had enough mud. So there is definite documentation on documentaries and with studies that have been taken place in different countries in Africa. Most of the time elephants are completely safe because of that tight-knit group where they all rally together to look after each other, and you'd have to be pretty keen to take on the largest land mammal on the planet. That being said, let's just move on up now. I'm just going to move on up to just see if there's a little wallow around the corner here, Betty. I'm finishing your question, but I just want us to be potentially at this other wallow if there was another animal there. So what I was going to say was there's definitely situations that occur where no, he's done. He was just wallowing in there, but we'll have a look at that in a second. There's definitely times when drought is a huge impact, or plays a huge impact on wildlife and their lives. And what happens? The rains are so important. In this particular area, it's definitely far from a drought because we had that rain, but when you've got extended periods that the rains just don't come for whatever reason it is climatically, you get a situation where the vigor and the health of animals drops dramatically. Animals will make very, very harsh decisions. Unhealthy animals will potentially be left behind at times, particularly youngsters that aren't getting the nutrition from their mothers and aren't building up their strength because the mother's nutrition is down, and so on and so on. It's a very, very hard thing. I've seen some really harrowing sort of footage of elephant, particularly looking after their youngsters and trying to lift them back up and make them move with the herd and so on, and to get to the point where they're just too weak to carry on. So in that situation, you will get opportunist hunters that will potentially take elephants. Now, they're not just lion, but potentially really young elephants. It might be hyena or something, but the animal would have to be probably by itself and away from the herd and just on its last legs. So very, very heavy duty to watch that stuff. But there are some prides that are specialists in hunting young elephants, that they've honed their skills, and whether that skill has been passed on to them from growing up in a pride that that skill is apparent, well sort of embedded in that pride, or not, it's another thing. But they will see that opportunity, and normally I've seen it done at night under the cloak of darkness, which also puts a spin on things because the elephants can't see very well. They can hear and smell things going on. The lions have a distinct advantage at night, and potentially could take a young elephant down. So there's loads of factors, and I really enjoy these questions, folks. It's great to sort of talk about them in a way that think of scenarios that could happen, and it possibly could, because weather and drought and food availability and pressure from other animals and so many different factors that contribute to the successful breeding of a particular male or female. But when it comes down to elephants, back to your question in a nutshell, not normally. They're very, very safe in the herd, but there will be particular instances where they may be predated upon by lion, and those couple that I mentioned are two really obvious ones when you see them. But yeah, it's a pretty strong, tight-knit community, the old elephant herd. And just have a quick look at this over here. This is where that bull, we were just a little bit too behind. He was wallowing around in that little puddle there and slipping and sliding around. So we'll definitely see more of that happening with the rains. We'll see lots of different other animals wallowing, buffalo. Let's just see what the quickest way back to Djuma is for me. Okay, go straight up here and then around. Okay, got it. A lot of this vegetation here is gets knocked down by elephants, and you saw that this morning with us, the strength of that animal nearly pushing the tree down on top of us. So when you see a tree broken off at the top like this one here, that one just there right in front of us, hanging on for dear life, it's it hasn't got much bark left on it, but it's struggling through to survive. That will be due to elephants breaking branches down to get the tender young shoots off the end, or as we saw today, pushing the trees over to get beautiful nutritious roots, and they also eat the bark. So sometimes you'll come across a tree that should look much taller than it is, with a really wide trunk, and it's quite stunted. It looks like bonsai, you know, that Japanese art of dwarfing those little trees. Just saw something nice then. I just want to jump out and get it for you. Just quickly, it's stand, just wait for a second. Just have to unplug, guys. I'm sure many people will know what this is. I'll just plug myself back into my comms, if you can just give me a second. Right, I'm back in. This is just stand by, I've got a call on the radio, folks. Do apologise again. Yeah, copy. Good, mate, thank you very well. Absolutely, mate. Thank you very, very much for the update, mate. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we've bumped into loads of them, so really it, and look forward to hearing from you, mate. Cheers, mate. Much obliged. So that was Cedric just giving me an update on the reserve, telling me that there's some animals, some like our lions that we watched last night have moved off onto another reserve. He said there's loads of elephant around if we're interested in them. We're always interested in elephant, aren't we? So we're just going to drive around a little bit further on our way back to Djuma, and I think it's a really lovely thing to get the calls. It makes our life even better by getting that intelligence on the ground, and thanks to the guys, they're fantastic guides here. Right, back to this. Now this little item right here is, most people would probably know, it's a porcupine quill. Quite beautiful, that lovely stripe there all the way through. This is the back end of it. Sorry, it's probably easier to see on my hand there. Okay, and then let's slide the other end. That's the end that goes into the animal. It is embedded into its skin. Now it's made of keratin. It's made of the same material that our fingernails and our hair is made from. And there's thousands upon thousands of these over the porcupine's body, particularly these long ones right at the back. And there's a lot of sharp ones that are only about that long that predators will, so probably about that long, thicker, sharp, so sharp I have many a time drawn blood just by showing people how sharp they are. And they will be the ones that will embed themselves in a predator's paws or face and can cause them major discomfort if they're hunting porcupine. It's a skill. I'm sure you know that many a predator takes on a porcupine with a little bit of gusto at first, but they soon get bored of it when the porcupine starts to launch itself at them backwards with those incredible array of sharp spines. So it is the biggest rodent in Africa. They can get up to about 35, I have seen records of them, 40 kilograms, which, what is that in pounds? Probably about 70 pounds or something like that, 70 or 80 pounds. Incredibly huge on a scale that you see them on a camera or something like that, you think, oh yeah, they don't look too big, but they're massive. So I'm talking about an animal that's probably about, sorry, I'm showing you pictures here, probably about that sort of long, a little bit longer. And they live in burrows. They're nocturnal, and they'll live in a burrow which is normally a burrow that's been made by something else. So it might be made by an aardvark, and they might take it over. It just depends. There's loads of changeover, but they'll have a network of burrows, and they'll dig those out themselves. They might just start off with an old burrow from a warthog or excuse me, an aardvark, or a jackal for that matter, or hyena. All those animals will live in burrows that they've either taken over on a termite mound or whatnot. So my point is that there's a network and there's a labyrinth of little dens within those burrows that they can use as escape hatches if a predator comes down in there. They'll also have their young down there. They eat. They're quite voracious appetites, vegetarians, but they also have been seen to be grinding their teeth and on old bones and things like that. They will definitely take on as many sort of succulent tubers or roots that they can, and bark and loads of other things. But really interesting characters, and a lot of animals take a wide berth when they come across them. But that is a porcupine quill. Quite beautiful. Some local people would use some of these things to make jewelry out of, and yeah, quite beautiful to see. Right, let's carry on. See what else we can find. Let's have a little look at my app map here. Go past a little dam on the way, which is always good. Definitely a lot cooler now than it was, folks, when we first started. Feels nice now. I love these little roads around here. Beautiful little little tracks. We might take this little drainage line just here if we're lucky. I think we can do that. Yep. Such a lovely little drive through this drainage line here. And these vehicles just go through here effortlessly. They're really beautiful to come through. So pretty down here. Bit bumpy, folks, so bear with us. So lovely down here, it's just beautiful. So there's a good chance we won't see a porcupine, but there's also a chance that we might. If they're a little bit elusive, as I said, they're nocturnal, so they don't really come out until a little bit later, but sometimes you can just stumble upon them, just like this beautiful buff. Old boy. Get knocked around. Look at those horns broken off. That's lovely. Oh wow, he's really had an interesting career. He's been around the block, that guy. Grinding them down. He's probably broken them off in battles. Still surviving. He's probably got a couple of others with him somewhere. Not necessarily. They can live a solitary existence, but on this reserve and Djuma, they'd be highly unlikely to do that just because there's so many buffalo around. So he may live a little. Quite nice, just looking back at us there. Yeah, we definitely understand you're the boss, bud. Yeah, here's a couple of... Oh, hang on, who's that? That's not our hippo, is it? My goodness. I think it is, you know. My goodness me. I think we've found our hippo, folks. Look at this. I'm only gathering that from the quite pronounced spine and hips that I can see on him, that I know he's an old bull. And if we can get a little look at his right shoulder, he's got loads of scar tissue on him from, it looks very much like our hippo from Djuma that we've been following. I reckon it is, you know. This is quite incredible. This is completely unexpected. I was actually heading back to Treehouse Dam to have a look for him, and we are, I'm just going to have a look at the map now. Okay, we're a fair way from it, but it's still not impossible. I think it is, you know. I really do. We're just going to have to sit here for a second. Just have a little look at this buffalo whilst I've got the binoculars out. I just want to try and find out if I can recognise any of the sort of markings on him from, yeah, it's definitely our hippo. That's him. Well, folks, I think that's incredible. I think it's incredible. I wasn't holding out too much hope for this hippo. I thought he'd gone off into the bush and potentially passed away there, or you know, died somewhere else on one of the reserves, and we were never going to see him. But he's come over to this dam here and settled in. I wonder if it's because it's deeper water or something. I really don't know. But normally I don't. Buffalo wouldn't be lying next to that hippo. Oh, well, that's not always true. But I've seen hippo make sure buffalo know who's boss, and they're just tolerating each other there in a very, very small pool of water. Isn't that amazing? The story continues. So this old resilient character has made his way. It's probably, if I look at my map, I'd probably say it is, just trying to look at the distance on my scale. Just trying to work it out, folks, if you just bear with me for a second. It's about just under 2 kilometers. So 2,000 meters, so roughly about 6,000 feet. Amazing. Well, we know where he is, folks, and that is fantastic to know. We'll now stop here and at Treehouse Dam on a daily basis to see how he's going. His vigour looks a little bit, does not look hugely improved, but he looks a little more alert. And we will monitor his situation for everyone, because I know everyone's interested in this hippo, and see how he gets on. But we know where he is now, which is brilliant, and I'll make sure that I keep coming back. Wow, okay. Amazing. That's really interesting, really interesting. That's made my afternoon. I actually thought we weren't going to see him again, and sure enough, he turns up at the most unexpected location. I knew that he could potentially go to another dam, but that's just under 2 kilometers away, and he has made it across country during the night. So he potentially left there before that rain. Not last night, but the night before. And he's made his way across here onto Arathusa. Amazing. Animals never cease to amaze you. I'll definitely keep that our eyes on that hippo. Okay folks, we've just come around, we're just making our way down back over to Djuma. Yeah, copy mate, we have. based on what we know the cat's behaviour or the predator's behaviour is normally like. So I had to go left there, I do apologise. Just reading this upside down is not always a good practice. So yeah, based on what we know the cat's behaviour or predator's behaviour is, so yeah, based on what we know the cat's behaviour or predator's behaviour is, we will then prioritise our time. So now that it's gotten a bit cooler, we had a lead over on Djuma with that leopard. Always good to go and have a little bit of a look over there. And that's what we're heading to do. But on the way, we'll go through some country that we know we see the cats in. I mean, there's leopard all over this area, and you never know what you're going to come across. But just go and drive down some of our old favourite haunts over there. Now I know where I am. Brilliant. Back on Zebra Drive. Hold on, sorry. The contour bumps on Arathusa are huge, and they catch you by surprise sometimes. Ah, brilliant. At last, I have horns become very knobbly and bumpy and can take on a bit of a form of their own. Individually they have very different horns, and you can see on her face maybe, we might just see if we can poke our head up here. Oh, here you go, we can see now. You see that middle horn? There's like a lump in that between her eyes there, above her eye. That is it classified as a horn as well, in a sense. It's like they call it mizzen horn, or the middle horn of. It's like to strengthen the skull. But on the males, it's not really used on the females really for anything other than it's a feature physiologically. On the males, there will be a really prominent one there, quite a strong bony structure down the middle, and then those two on the top will be really knobbly and quite gnarly. And then there's two small ones between the ears to strengthen the back of the neck. They drop their head and neck in a pendulum type of a fashion. They hit their heads and necks together, and it's a behaviour called necking. Let me just move up so you can see this beautiful creature. There we go. it's called necking, and they go into some fierce battles over dominancy over females. The females will be seen to do a little sort of a neck hit now and again. I've seen it in the wild. It's nothing in it really other than just pushing another animal out of the way. And here comes another one behind us. Isn't that lovely? Just heard something coming through the bush behind me and just had a look. And here comes another beautiful creature. I really have a soft spot for giraffe. I was very fortunate, and most of you I've probably told this story to, but I was very fortunate to hand rear a giraffe when I worked in a zoo back in the early 90s. Oh, there's loads of them. There's another one. And I got very, very attached to this species. They're extraordinary creatures. They're just an amazing design. Fitting into a perfect little niche, and really monopolising that band of vegetation that no other animals can reach other than elephants. Let's go and see if we can get a little bit of a closer look. I think there's a bull coming up behind here. Am I right, Liam? Oh, look what he's doing. He's doing a little... Look, that's exactly what we were just talking about, folks. Let me just drive up a bit. Can you see there? Just maybe...
Go back again?
Let's just... There we go. So there's a youngster and a bull, and they were just having a little bit of a jostle, doing that behaviour, exactly what we were just talking about. Now have a look at that, the horn, that mizzen horn, that one I was talking about on the female, was quite delicate. Look at the one on him on the top of it, the middle of his forehead there. Sorry, on between his eyes. How prominent that is. Very, very different, and how big those other horns are. And if he does turn around, we'll get a look at those two horns that are classified as horns behind his skull there, that strengthens the back of his neck. A couple of little oxpeckers underneath his chin there, his jaw. So that is potentially, here you go, this is exactly what there was. This is far from serious. This is just a little sparring match an older bull is doing with a younger bull. So beautiful to see. We're very lucky, folks. This is lovely, lovely behaviour. So it's more of a bit of play from an adult male with a younger male, just teaching him a few tricks there. There's nothing in that. You can see how he's not following through in his head drops. If that was two males of the larger of the two size, they would be hitting each other's heads and necks together with great force. It's just like a little spar between an adult and a youngster, a little sort of boxing match. You have a look at the difference in size of horns too. The adults to the younger males, they're dramatically different. So he will learn this behaviour over time, and He'll start to do this with other young bulls. As he gets to a threatening age to that bull, he would probably be taking him on. But at the moment, it's just all experimenting, learning what it's used for. And the heads and necks don't just cop the body blows. I'm sorry, the blows. It's the body that also can cop a massive blow to the side there. This is fantastic. It's like Dad teaching his son a little bit there. I don't know. I could never tell you that they were related, but they're pretty placid giraffes most of the time. There's never normally any conflict other than that dominancy over mating rights. But they do have the ability to kick out with all legs in all different directions. And I can tell you that for a fact through experiencing it myself, sadly, when I was hand rearing that giraffe. Yeah. I won't continue the story, but just so you know, they can kick incredibly hard. You can look at the size difference there. He's a big bull. He's a really big bull. How lovely was that? I might just see if they do come across. Okay, I think I'll just stick here for one more minute because I'd like you to see it's out in the open a little bit more now. Can you see that, VM? It's a little bit more open for everyone to see, and see if they just do that little behaviour again. The male has got a little injury under his chin there. It might just be an abscess from a thorn or something like that. I'm sure he'll get past that, and that's what those little tick birds, those little oxpeckers were underneath his chin for. But I just had a look through the binoculars. It's not too severe. It could be just a thorn or something like that, and it's probably going to heal. But beautiful, beautiful behaviour that we just saw there with that necking, it's called, dropping their heads and necks and hitting them together. Right, well, that's beautiful to see. We will move on. Thank you very much, my friends. That was great. Really nice. I'm really happy about that. Sometimes you'll talk about a behaviour and you'll explain it to people, but obviously when you see the behaviour happen right after you've explained it, it's an absolute joy for us. It wasn't in full flight, as I said. If it was two adult males the same size as that bull, the big one, it would have been a much more fierce battle. But then again, it depends at the time of the year as well. We're just coming up to the border of Arathusa Reserve where it meets Djuma, and I'm going to head back into Djuma for the last sort of 45 minutes of our drive tonight and see what we can find there. Temperature, as I said, dropped dramatically. Very, very pleasant at the moment. Just going to put the Game Drive channel up a little bit louder so I can hear if there's anything happening on Djuma. Okay. Oh, that wasn't very smooth. Left or right? Okay, if you can tweet us Right now, we'll wait here for about 10, 15, 20 seconds. The first person to tweet in left or right, which way to go. Right will take us down to, well, I'm not going to tell you. Let's just go with the luck of the draw here. Left or right, if you can tweet in hashtag Safari Live and tell me which way you'd like to go, you are going to steer the game drive, the Safari Drive live this afternoon into an area, and I'm sure it'll be the right choice because we've had some fantastic times with that. A few weeks back, I think we tweeted and someone said it went left and we ended up seeing wild dogs, which was fantastic. So we'll just wait here patiently. Beautiful sky, fantastic, gorgeous grey clouds off there in the background. We aren't getting rain in the next 45 minutes, that's for sure. We will just take this little bit of peace for a second and recap. Arathusa, beautiful reserve, absolutely beautiful. Lovely elephant this morning and a few more just now. Giraffe, beautiful. Really, really enjoyed it. Okay, the majority. Okay, just repeat please, Control. I just missed that, I had two radios on. Okay, right, well we just got majority of the tweets that just came in said left for luck. So let's go left, folks. I really love that, that's brilliant. You're on board and you have just taken control of Safari Live, and that is a brilliant thing. Let's see what we can find, because you never know what's around the next corner, do you? So left is going to bring us up into several little off-roads, and we're going to take the first one, and oh my goodness me. We've got an amazing sunset going on too. Let me just try and get a peek through the trees. Can I get to a place where we can see it? Can you get anything there, Liam? Let me get to the top of the hill, folks. I'm sorry, I'm racing here. I want to show you this absolutely incredible. Look at that, look at that. Wow. Let me roll back. Look at those colours, folks. Let me go back a bit further, there's a gap just there. Wow. Unbelievable sunset, folks, today. Just dropped down underneath that cloud. We might just take our next right up onto a road. Oh, it's spectacular. Come on, HT, what can we do here? What can we do here? Look at that. That is Africa, folks. That is what is just the magical end to the day when you see that beautiful big fiery ball go down over the horizon. And I'm sorry, I'm just in a little spot where I haven't got an elevator view to get over the trees, but I think that's pretty nice to look at, that sun, and a beautiful scene. I'm just going to drive on, folks. We've got probably a few minutes with that sunset. We might not see the actual ball of sun going down, but we might get into another location. I'll keep looking across there as well, because if I get a break in the tree line, I'll stop for you. The colours are just mind-blowing at the moment. Looking for a little break in the trees. There's a lot of corrugations here, folks. I do apologise. VM is a little bit more elevated than me. Can I get this for you? Oh, that's not a bad spot. Oh, that's not a bad spot, HD. Oh, have we got it? Oh, a little bit more, a little bit further forward, mate. Yes. Shall we watch it go down, folks? only going to take about 60 seconds, 2 minutes maybe at the most. Seeing it dropping rapidly in front of our very eyes. We're watching that ball of fire go on that basically is one of the essential parts of life on the planet here, really. We take it for granted a lot, but that beautiful thing gives life right where we're sitting right now. Till tomorrow, my friend, son. Till tomorrow. Beautiful. Oh, that was nice. That was nice, folks. I just wanted to... Really nice. Just so special. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye because we were driving away from the sunshine. If we get to another place, it's just going to get better as well. Sorry about the corrugations, folks. I'll get off this road as soon as I can. But the sky is going to be... We'll do a big wide shot if we get up to another location that's got a little bit of elevation. It's going to be orange and purple, but we were driving away from it. Beautiful. Just got another vehicle approaching us here. I will find another spot just to get a nice wide shot of this gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. Hello. So beautiful. I'm trying to find a spot for you to get a big wide view. It's there, it's not going away, that's for sure. It's getting more beautiful as the minutes pass. So as we creep up to a little bit more elevation, we'll find a nice spot. Why don't we just take this road right here? We back away from these trees a little bit, we'll get a spot just in here to have a nice look at that sunset. A bit bumpy here, folks, sorry. Lovely kudu bull just crossing the road in front of us here. So we're on Impala Plains now, which is a favourite sunset spot. I'm going to just drive up here to get a little bit of elevation for you, and you have a look at this magical, magical skyline. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Safari Live, and this is Africa. Look at that. That is just the most beautiful thing. Whoa. That is the business. Wow. Just beautiful. I don't really say a lot of words over that, folks. It speaks for itself. Right, well, I don't know what to say really. I'm not normally lost for words, but that really does take your breath away. I love when the haze comes in and you get that depth throughout that skyline, and you start to see those different layers and how far we're looking off into the horizon there. Really, really beautiful. And that's what this place is all about, folks. This is just a magical, magical place, and having you on board with us to experience things like that just makes it even more special to me. It's, you know, the wildlife obviously and the habitats are paramount, but when you've got something that just occurs in front of your very eyes that is been going on for more than we ever know time-wise, it's still a different sunset every day, and that one was one to remember. That was magical. Okay, I need to now, after my waxing lyrically about the sunsets, it does take your breath away though. It's something that every time I come, you know, spend any time in any African country, that sort of thing is why you come back. It's just one of the components that just takes your breath away. Now we are going to spend the last 35 minutes scouring this area and looking for any tracks or signs of our predator friends, particularly our leopard communities, or community, not community, but individuals. Definitely just going to creep along this area in the vehicle in sort of second gear, keeping our eyes open. And the reason for that is you just don't know what could be around that. I've just got a bit of an urge, folks, to go down to Treehouse Dam again. I don't know why, it just popped into my head. Could be because I was thinking about going down there to see if that old hippo was there. but we've seen him, but still it's in my mind for some reason. So remember when we talked about intuition this morning? If we get down in there and there's nothing, then it wasn't intuition. But let's go and just have a little look down. We were good for time. So I'm taking it that Pete's little technical hitch was a little bit more tricky than we thought, so hence why he hasn't come back on. So we will definitely keep you updated on that. You know, we always get things running, but that's why I haven't come back to you with across to Pete. And I know he'll be absolutely stinging to get out on the reserve, so we'll keep you updated on that and talk about that tomorrow morning. Some wildebeest down there, a little bit too far off. We think maybe we'll just have a look at it throughout the night tonight and do our best. We'll come back to you with an update tomorrow morning. The Jigger, we love these cars, we love them so much. These vehicles are part of us, and anything that happens to them, we sort of feel it like it's a part of the family. So, and I know Pete is incredibly attached to his vehicle. Right. I have just had word from control that we have to go back to quarantine because we have a visitor. Driving a little bit faster now, folks, because I've just had word through the radio that we may have something special up where we were thinking about finishing on this evening. I'm going to skip Treehouse Dam because we've just had radio confirmation that there's a special guest up at the area we call quarantine, and we just have word that it's not just a potential, it's actual a visual confirmation. We do have that beautiful creature that deep down in all our hearts is probably one of the most dramatic, fantastic, what other words can I sort of use to describe it, cats on the planet, and that's leopard. So bear with me, there was a little bump on the way here and there, folks, I do apologise, but I want to get there as quickly as I can to get this leopard visual for us. Well, let's have a go. Stick with us, folks. Really important that we see this together. We've got a good 30, or just under 30 minutes. A few bumps down here. Hold on. Coming down into what we call Philemon's Dip here. A little bump here. It's quite tricky. Throw throws the vehicle around a few times. And we just watch our aerial of him under this branch here, please, mate. Great stuff. Right, we've only got the hill to go. Come on. Please stay there. Your heart rate starts to rise. The adrenaline starts to pump. Oh goodness, I love this. We just got a tweet from Tom saying, "Go HT, go." Tom, I'm with you, buddy. I'm definitely driving at a speed that is absolutely permitted, but I'm just taking it, I wouldn't go any faster than this, but it's for the, you know, for the benefit of the animals and everything, but I'm right on the cusp here, so I just got to be really careful, of course, but it's open ground here, so I can see. I've got a great field of vision here. Right. Okay, so I just got some intelligence from Will that this leopard was seen very close to a sun just down here. Let's get our spotlight ready. Not that we're going to need it at the minute, probably. I think we're still good, but we're going to have it on standby. So now we start to slow down. Now we start to slow down. This is really close to our control center. Right, keep your eyes open, folks. Really keep your eyes open here. This area here is where it was seen. And up a bit further. I think it was actually down this way. It feels so bizarre to be looking for leopard around our control center and around our research center. But Betty just asked us on Twitter why that area was fenced off. That's where we are, and it's an electrified fence around the compound, the house and the control center, for the simple reason that elephants will come in and basically push down part of your house if you don't have that up in Africa. And it also keeps out, you know, some of the predators that can get a little bit tricky now and again. If you've got big cats and hyena running around your garden at night. Keep your eyes open, folks. Just let Jim pass here. Thank you, mate. Thanks. Yeah, looking. You seen Ingrid? Where? This side. Okay, thanks, mate. We're going to come. We're going to turn around, folks. Just. So that's the great thing about. Just got to talk to people. Got to ask questions. Wonderful. That guy there is a wonderful, wonderful tradesman that just helps us out with so many things. Back down, mate. No. Go down.
Hey. Right to the right. Right. Out. Yeah.
Got it. Well spotted, mate. Folks, I'm just going to turn around now. Okay, I'm just going to turn around now, and I still can't recognise in this light who it is. Now, absolutely amazing. Who is that? It doesn't look like. Oh, it's. I'm just going to put my nose in here. Wow, look what we have found here. Look what we found here, folks. This is just too beautiful. Right, that's the spot we need to be in. Let's just have a look to see who this is. It's very low light at the moment, folks, so I'm just going to put one of these gentle lights on to see if it helps us or improves the. It could be Karula, you know, it could be. Wow, this is spectacular. This is just amazing, folks. This is like right in between our research center and our final control area. Just waiting for her to look around at us again. Oh, what a fantastic way to finish today. Karula, many people know this already, but for those of you who've just joined us on Safari Live, or it's your first or second drive with us, Karula is known as the Queen of Djuma. She's Her name means peaceful, and that's exactly what she is. She's very relaxed and allows vehicles to come up this close to her, and it's just an incredible experience. She's looking around now, but I'm not really sure why she hasn't retaken that kill up the tree. She's really hot. It is very, very muggy still here, everyone. I'm trying to send Karula a bit of a... I'm trying to tweet her at the moment. If she can look around, it would make my life a lot easier. Ah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So lovely to be... Oh, here we go. Come on, look this way. So folks, just to explain to you, we walk past this area like maybe 4 or 5, 10 times a day. And she could have been in there, holed up in the shade, and we would never have seen her. But VM, our eyes in the sky, again, amazing mate, great spotting in that low light. It's an incredible feat to see that. Come on friend, let's have a little look at your face. Oh yeah. Aha. Oh god, I missed it. So okay, she's on the move. Where's she going? I'm just going to go back out on the road, folks. Just watch your head, Ian, because it's going to give us a better vantage point. I have to say that Will Fox, our Director of Operations and directing me today, did say this tree, folks. I'm just going to roll down a little bit for you, VM, so you can get the location of the kill too. And I think she's going to go up this tree. Or maybe not. Just using my spotlight now, folks, just to see where she's going. I'm not going to shine in her eyes, but she's just through there. I've just got that on the back there. You can see the spots beyond the vegetation. Just having a bit of a sniff around there. She might come back up to the tree, I would think. Take that light off now. Where's she gone? There she is. Keeps looking up at it. She's got something in her mouth. Yeah, it's a stripe pattern. The only reason I'm sitting back here, folks, is because I want to, if I put my nose into there, she may balk at going up the tree. So I just want to watch her for it. We've got just under 15 minutes, and I think If she lies down there, I'll definitely move a bit closer for you. But let's just see what she's up to for a second. She's in there. Let me just roll down a little bit. I might get a better spot just down here to see her. She's gone flat, I think. She's gone down, lie down. Let's see if there's a little break through this vegetation here. There we go. Just make that out. Maybe just go back a bit, I think. She's eating something there. Don't know what she's eating. Maybe I will go in. Maybe I will go in, folks. She's eating something, so I think she's going to settle there for a second. Maybe she's already been up the tree, unbeknown to us. And, no, it doesn't look like it. So what I'm going to do, guys, is just go into this little spot just here. We're not going to disturb her. We're not going to go too close. But I can get into this little spot just here, and we can look down on the right-hand side of the vehicle now and see what she's got herself right in front of us. It's okay, my friend. It's okay, girl. There we go. That's good. Good girl. Really lovely. I'll just swing this around. So she's definitely eating something there. I can't quite make out what it is. Unless it was a part of the impala that's fallen down. Gosh, folks, we are literally 3 meters away from her. Oh my goodness, this is such an incredible experience. Absolutely superb. She's walking within 2 meters of the front of our vehicle, and I think she's going to go up this tree. I'm still not sure if this is Karula. We're trying to get confirmation, and I always look to Will and Peter for these confirmations, because it's always a bit tricky. We look at the cat's faces as much as we possibly can. Oh, she's going to go up this tree. How fantastic. Come on. I might just roll back a little bit, because I don't know if I think we feel like we're too close. I'm just going to roll back a little bit, folks, because we're so close. He might... Here she goes. Watch this. Where's she going to? She's just behind this vegetation at the moment. Just going to turn this right around a bit. She's just in there. She's looking up at it, folks. Still got to try and get a positive ID on reverse a little bit here for you, and then just get VM into a position we can get a shot just next to the tree. It's a really nice shot actually, I think. He's got a lovely little spot just there. Can you get through there, mate?
Forward.
Forward a little bit. There we go. Okay, a little bit of vegetation in the way there, but we'll deal with that. Just turn that around. Better. Now that doesn't. What a special encounter, folks. This is just magical. Still trying to get the full front shot of her face. Waiting for her to look around this direction. If anybody can help us that's watching, who thinks they know who this individual might be, please tweet or email us. I really utilize all your skills and all your knowledge of all the wonderful people that know these leopards, and anyone that can assist, please give us a tweet or an email. I can see a W. There's these very distinct W, and it looks like an O and then another W. I can see one on this side of her, just between her eyes. Yeah, it is Karula. I just see it loud and clear there. I'm just going to get confirmation from Will. Did you see that, Will? Really? So the guys back in control are not sure. Right, I thought I just saw the wow through my binoculars. This is what's so exciting about this, folks, is like we're all together on this, we're all working together. And everyone pitches in with their little bit of knowledge and their help to try and so we've got Scott looking at it for us at the moment, which is a brilliant thing for him as well as me and everyone. And then Scott will probably have the picture of this leopard's face imprinted on his mind after tonight. Just got another vehicle arriving, folks. If you hear another engine and some voices, it's just another safari vehicle that's arriving because of the news of this leopard. A lot of people want to see. Yeah, that's Karula, folks. Look at that wow written on her face there. It's that beautiful, see the W and W just above her eyes there, in between her eyes, just above. Yeah, it's Karula. It's Karula. How fantastic. Really super stuff. I'm just going to edge up a little bit to let these guys in, and I've got another shot that's quite beautiful for VM just ahead of us here, so let him get that shot through there. Can you see there? VM, is that good for you, mate? just get my lights down again. Yeah, that's Karula, folks. Absolutely fantastic. Well, what a beautiful way to finish our day, everyone. We found Karula, and the mystery of what cat this was this morning and yesterday, we didn't know who it was, but now we've confirmed a great sighting from her. Karula it is. Absolutely magnificent way to finish the day, and she's still got a little bit of a meal left up in that tree that she may take tonight, depending on what happens, but we'll definitely come back and see her in the morning. Yeah, she should be around this area. We know it's Karula. We'll look for good spoor and tracks in the morning to see where she's moved to. But the Queen of Djuma is in our midst here, folks. So I'm going to sign off, everyone, and say thank you so much. We're going to stay on this beautiful picture that we've got here, much more attractive than the one that would turn to camera and me be on it. You may as well look at this beautiful creature, guys, and just say, you know, how lucky we were today. We saw some great stuff, and we're now sitting with this magnificent leopard, and this is what Safari Live is all about. We are here in the moment. You experience everything that we experience, the ups, the downs, the little hiccups. You're on board